Hello friends, today's video is about being new to veganism. So if this applies to you, well, listen on. So I've been vegan for 3 years, about that. So I wouldn't consider myself new to veganism anymore. I am in some people's eyes, but it's just a matter of relativity, I suppose. But when I talk about new vegans, I mean vegans that are within the last 6 months they've become vegan. It doesn't really matter how I define it, but the point is this video is about my experiences of becoming a vegan and what I think might be relatable to some others, and I suppose it's also advice for people that are new to veganism, although I'm not an authority on anything, so don't feel like my advice carries any more weight than just my personal perspective. So when I became vegan, it was like opening my eyes for the first time to the reality of the world as I now saw it, and I was amazed and excited by the fact that I'd had this new perspective on the world. The other thing that happened was just the sinking realization that even with all the passion I had and all the information I had, and the fact that I'd made the connection and become vegan, me promoting it wasn't, me telling people, me promoting it wasn't going to produce the same reaction in others. And so I suppose this whole video is about just managing your expectations, because it may be so clear to you, it may make so much sense, but we aren't a logical and rational species. And so no matter what we think we are that, but we're not. So don't be too disheartened when you realise that people aren't going to listen to you and take your point and your perspective on board. For me, that was frustrating to find that out, and it was upsetting, and it's also surprising when people do, and that's that's an exciting and a lovely connection to make with someone when you meet someone and you're able to connect with them, and they are open-minded enough to listen to you and take on board what you think, and then go on to then see it your way. What a beautiful thing that can be. But that's the exception, and the more likely scenario is that people will listen to you, maybe take it in, maybe not, and then just go on as normal and not make any changes in their life. So yeah, it can be upsetting and frustrating, and even people who you thought you'd always considered intelligent, always considered compassionate, always considered a close friend or family member, no matter what they are, it's just the most likely outcome is that they won't take your perspective on board and change what they do. That's just, and it's hard, it's very hard to live with. But this is one of the things I think about veganism that is like a fringe benefit. You learn a lot about human psychology and motivation. I used to think humans were much more motivated by logic and reason than I now know that they are. So living in a delusion where you think humans are logical and reasonable isn't a beneficial thing to be. We want to have the real facts as they are, and the reality is that humans aren't a very logical creature. So it's good to know the truth, even if it hurts, to know that and to realise that. I was so sad when it sort of like crushed me a little that I lost. It's the old thing. What do you miss most from before you were vegan? My faith in humanity, and that's the truth. I certainly feel that way. It still gets me, so this isn't so much like advice that's no longer relevant to me. It's still relevant to me. It can be hard. Coming across human nature is difficult, but we have to understand what human nature is, because that's human nature, and it's not going to change. But that doesn't mean humans can't change. It just means our nature can't change. So that's what we've got to work with. Human nature is a constant that we have to work with, and being upset about it won't fix anything. But we just have to understand it and acknowledge it, and learn to work with it. So that's the positive final thought from this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. hope you find my thoughts and ramblings relevant and informative. Do all the bits, the likes, that you got your likes, you got your subscribes, you've even got your comments, so they're all welcome. Bring them all in, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you, everyone.